There is a quote by John C. Maxwell that goes, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." This is something the Marine Corps Officer Candidate School takes to heart. As a leader, you have to be the first to move in and the last to move out, and after all men are accounted for, everything, and we mean everything, depends on you. This philosophy is what makes the Officer Candidate School, or OCS, one of the most challenging training schools in America, if not the world. The main purpose of OCS is to see if applicants have the leadership skills needed to become Marine officers. Men and women who attend OCS are called candidates. All commissioned officers must go through and graduate from OCS. The only exceptions are those who graduate from the United States Naval Academy. To attend OCS, candidates must have a bachelor's degree or be studying full-time at a college or university that has been approved by the government. The degree can be in any field. For civilians to attend OCS, you have to get in touch with an officer selection officer. This person, your OSO, will be your guide and help you get to OCS. After you finish an interview, your OSO will decide if you can move on to the next steps. If the OSO accepts you, then they will work with you to ensure you meet the requirements to be accepted to attend Marine OCS. These requirements include a short essay on why you want to be a Marine officer, clear a background check, 5 letters of recommendation, and passing a medical test and a Marine PFT to a level that will impress the selection board. Officers are expected to have a first-class PFT score. Click the link in the description below to check the Marine PFT standards and performance requirements based on your age. The Officer Candidate School is held at Brown Field at MCB Quantico in Virginia and lasts for 10 weeks. The training for those 10 weeks is broken into 5 phases. Phase 1 is known as in-processing and happens through days 1 through 4 of the first week. Phase 2 is known as transition and happens from week 1 to week 3. Candidates will learn about the military in general, go to the Marine Corps Martial Arts program, and learn about leadership and the culture of Marines. The first 3 weeks are known as the hardest, both physically and mentally. Phase 3 is known as adaptation and happens from weeks 4 to 5. Candidates will have increased responsibilities. They will also learn land navigation, basic tactical training, and leadership. During this phase, candidates are assigned to lead their peers in turn through exercises and evaluations. Candidates must be able to lead teams and be accountable for both individual and group achievements. They learn to spot problems and find solutions to achieve success. Phase 4 is known as decision-making and execution, which occurs in weeks 6 to 9. Marines will be tested through leadership events and their ability to exhibit tactical knowledge in a field environment. They will also be tested physically and academically. Lastly, Phase 5 is known as out-processing and happens on week 10. This phase includes graduation and commissioning. Throughout the 10 weeks, candidates will learn military customs, physical fitness, land navigation, and tactical training. One of the goals of OCS is to give Marines the knowledge and skills they need to be leaders in tough situations. This is achieved through controlled scenarios that allow individuals to be evaluated and screened both physically and academically. At OCS, candidates are trained by sergeant instructors, or SIs. Each sergeant instructor must have successfully completed a successful tour as a drill instructor at Marine Corps Boot Camp. After that, they are specifically selected to train officers on Brown Field. They evaluate candidates in 3 different categories: fitness, leadership, and academics. Physical fitness is essential to make it in the Marine Corps. Fitness is worth 25% of a candidate's total score. It is a very difficult and demanding part of OCS. A number of physical fitness activities are designed to teach future officers perseverance, courage, and drive. Candidates will complete hikes ranging from 4 to 9.3 miles, a close to 3-mile endurance course, an obstacle course with 100 meters of steps, pugil stick training, and more. Each has a minimum metric that each candidate must pass to graduate. At OCS, the training days are mostly the same. A typical training day lasts 16 hours. Each begins with lights at either 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. First, candidates will be counted to make sure everyone is there. Then, they are allotted time for morning hygiene and dress in the uniform of the day, which is typically a MARPAT. Next, candidates execute physical training and then march to the mess hall for breakfast. Once chow is over, they will spend the rest of the day doing martial arts training, school lessons, or events in the field. The training day ends for candidates with a shower, mail call, some free time, and lights out. First and foremost, it is essential to be in great shape upon arrival at OCS. In such, anything less than a first-class PFT is unacceptable. Candidates risk attrition from the program if they are not able to perform physically. At OCS, training and classes are meant to push candidates to their limits, and failing to meet standards will get candidates sent home. The training requires physical and mental toughness while running on little sleep and dealing with stressful situations. Typically, candidates who fail an event are given a second chance, but if they fail again, they're sent home. They may be given a later opportunity to come back and repeat the program, but for many, this is the end of the road. The biggest goal of OCS is creating and training great leaders. Due to this, leadership training makes up half of the entire program. Marines are graded on their leadership skills during combat evaluations, leadership reaction courses, and small unit leadership evaluations, which include both staff observation and hands-on experience. These evolutions give candidates experience in being in charge, decision-making, managing a unit, and communication. Candidates given a leadership role are responsible for keeping track of all Marines and equipment under their command. They are often appointed and in place for several days and will be evaluated by an SI and a commissioned officer in each role they fulfill. As always, if candidates fail to perform, it could result in them being removed from the training. Academics account for the final 25% of a candidate's overall grade. Military courses like Marine Corps history and land navigation are taught, and evaluations come in the form of written exams and practical application. OCS is a very challenging and cutthroat program. It has an overall attrition rate of 30%, which equates to 25% for men and a staggering 50% for women. The most common reasons candidates fail to complete training are health and injuries, fitness, drop on request, or just having a bad character. Due to the high physical demands of the course, injuries are unfortunately common and can sometimes be serious enough to end a candidate's training. Candidates are also given the option to drop on request, which is essentially quitting. At OCS, candidates have the freedom to stop training on their own after a short time. They are not locked into a contract yet. But there is a catch. Once candidates DOR, they will never be given the opportunity to come back and try again. Dropping on request from the program is a decision for life. Why? Well, it's simple. The Marine Corps will not put Marines under the charge of a person who isn't dedicated or committed. Giving up in battle could be the difference between life and death. And yes, candidates also risk getting dropped if their character is found wanting. Marines are taught to have integrity, unselfishness, resilience, and courage. Sadly, some people lack the core values of what it means to be a Marine. There are a few things that can cause an individual to fail due to a lack of character, such as cheating, lying, stealing, and being disrespectful. Making the decision to serve your country and become a Marine Corps officer is no small decision. For those who do decide to embark on the journey, here are a few tips from Marines who have successfully completed OCS. Arrive in good mental state. Make sure all of your personal problems are taken care of before you apply for OCS, and especially before arriving at training. The less you are focused on outside problems, the better. At a 15-minute mile pace, hike in your boots with weight. Pack at least 30 pounds and ruck a few times a week. Things will be tough at OCS. Try and get used to it now. OCS hikes are 4, 6, and 9 miles long, and each time they increase in difficulty. Buy boots in advance and run with your boots on so you're ready to do PT in them as soon as training begins. Start slow and add miles as you break your boots in. At least 15 miles of running a week will help you prepare for the longer training runs. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching. Till next time.